The morning show's going to be making pho, and Uncle Roger's going to be reviewing it. I have a feeling this isn't going to turn out too well, so let's see how bad it really is. And if you do happen to enjoy this video, then be sure to give it a like and a share, but most importantly, hit the subscribe button and the bell notification so you don't miss out on any future content. Now, let's get started.
This morning is British daytime talk show, and recently they have chef on there making pho. Asian cooking on British TV. You know this gonna be disaster. Just look at the title. 10-minute pho take hour to make. 10-minute and pho are words that don't belong together. Just like the words Jamie Oliver and chef. Emotional, damn it!
Not even a minute into this video and we're already burning Jamie. Ay, 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 I'm gonna have to defend Jamie again in this video. This is getting to be a full-time job.
Coda's got just the thing. You're making a superfood soup today.
A superfood soup.
Opening shot already not looking good. Not a single pot for broth. And she got 2 frying pan. Uncle Roger never see anyone make pho with frying pan.
Now, if any of you don't know, a lot of the clips that I use of Gino Di Campo is actually with him cooking on this morning show, because he is pretty much, or he used to be, the normal chef that used to be on there. And if you haven't seen Gino, he is funny. He is hilarious. You need to see him.
Is there any other word for this so then I can use?
Just a sheet. Just a sheet. Just saying it correctly will do it.
What you have to do, you roll out the sheet until more or less the same size of this other sheet.
It's a Vietnamese pho. It only takes 10 minutes.
Pronouncing it wrong.
So
It's not pho, it's pho.
I'm doing it with steak, which is traditional what they do it in Vietnam, but you could do it with chicken, you could do it with prawns or tofu or whatever you like.
Wait, no. Cannot be whatever you like. There are rules to this shit.
As far as trying to put anything in it, I'm sure that, okay, if you're at home, you can put whatever you like in it. But when you're showing people on how to make a dish that is supposedly traditional, you need to kind of stick to the traditional recipe and then show how it's made. And then if you want, you can substitute in your own home. This is fine. I never say that you can't do what you want in your own home. But there's a difference when you go on TV and show how to make it. That's another thing.
Hardly any red meat nowadays, and that's really so
nice?
Oh, do you love
lovely
it?
treat. It's
Oh,
such a
good.
treat.
Do you know what? I'm the same as you, Phil. Actually, I don't eat an awful lot of red meat anymore either. Do you, Holly?
This is white people's favorite topic. Dietary restriction. You ever hang out with your white friend? When you go get dinner, that's all they talk about. I cannot eat this, I cannot eat that. That is white people culture.
That's a little generalistic, Uncle Roger. I never talk about that when I go out to eat. As a matter of fact, I typically have like beef tenderloin when I go out to eat, because otherwise it's just too expensive buying a whole beef tenderloin at home just for me. But as far as like allergies and all this is concerned, this is kind of true. We do tend to have a lot of allergies here in the West. People can't eat this, that, the other thing. Now it's time for a quick word from our sponsor, Geology. Skincare doesn't have to be complicated, and Geology proves this with their simple science-backed approach. They've won awards being featured in Men's Health and Esquire and have over 10,000 glowing reviews from people who have seen real results. What makes them different? It's all about personalization. In just 60 seconds, you can take a quiz, highlight your main concerns, whether it be acne, dryness, or aging, and they create a routine specifically designed just for you. I have personally been using the Retinol Night Cream, and the difference in my skin's texture is noticeable. Their serum is another game changer, packed with vitamin C, vitamin E, and hyaluronic acid to deeply hydrate and protect your skin. Want to try it out? Use my link and code below to get 70% off your custom skincare starter kit. That's a full month trial for only $12. Plus, you can grab any add-on of your choice absolutely free. Trust me, your skin will thank you. Now, back to the video.
Lunch and dinner. No, I do.
I don't actually.
Wait.
I don't either. And I can't.
What's she doing with the beef?
Little treat, but what I will say is anybody who's making a
Is she oiling the beef?
steak every once in a while, I just crave it sometimes.
She putting salt, pepper, and oil on the steak.
She's gonna sear the steak. Technically, you're not supposed to sear it first.
Pan here, really screaming hot pan.
Pan screaming hot, Uncle Roger screaming not.
It's actually supposed to cook in the broth, and you're supposed to put it in raw, and then it just naturally cooks in the broth after you pour the hot broth in. Oh, I'm sure she's seen the Jamie video here and there, so, you know. It happens.
No, for pho, you either cook the meat with the broth or you braise it in the pot. Is she gonna put this on frying pan?
And then, what are you all laughing at?
Nothing.
Okay, take your steak or any piece of meat out of the fridge about at least a half an hour before you're going
Is she gonna do what I think she's gonna do?
It comes out of the fridge, it's all tense like this, and then when it's out...
Tense? Your meat tense? Uncle Roger asshole tense? I think you're gonna fuck up.
Sorry, children. Now, Uncle Roger, you don't put it anymore, so I'm gonna put it for you, all right? Now, I don't mean to be rude, but who is this actually cooking? She's Irish. I've never seen her before. I don't know if she's famous or anything, or if she's a little bit like Martha Stewart in Ireland or anything. So if anyone knows, please let me know down below who she is, because normally you have to know what you're doing, or at least have a little bit of popularity to be on the morning show.
I know. But if you open up a little pocket and shove some of that salad in there, I'm telling you, and a bit of mustard.
Salad in a pasty?
Oh, okay, let me...
You filthy pervert!
Okay, let me...
Isn't that right, Jamie?
And get your pan as
No.
hot as you can.
Not pan?
I use a griddle pan at home sometimes, but most people just have a frying pan, so that's great.
No,
So
don't,
just make sure
no.
You want that sizzle straight away.
You hear sizzling? I hear my ancestor crying.
First of all, to sear the steak, she doesn't even have enough oil in the pan. It's too dry. Secondly, you don't sear the steak for pho. Now, the reason why Uncle Roger's getting his knickers in a twist is because traditionally is not cooked or made like this. I mean, it doesn't mean that the dish is like 1,000 years old. It doesn't go back that far. It only goes back about a century, and it was introduced by the French, because the French at one time controlled that part of South Asia, and well, they heavily influenced, apparently, the cuisine. This is one of the stories that I heard. I'm sure there are others on how it came about and it was created. It's kind of like pad thai. Pad thai hasn't been around for that long.
Uncle Roger's so upset, I put my leg down from chair. You don't sizzle steak like this. This is pho, not Outback Steakhouse. Hiya.
You want that sizzle straight away.
Making steak like this, are you gonna pair it with French fry or something? Like steak and fry? I think she's making Asian fusion now. She's fusing Vietnamese with depression.
Now, if anyone can let me know, do you guys actually eat or use like veal or venison or deer meat for any of your dishes? Because I don't know if you do. Normally, I'm just used to saying beef, pork, maybe chicken or tofu or anything else, and that's it.
So 1 minute on each side, and then but don't turn it. I'm always tempted to turn it. And then season it then again when it goes on.
Season again?
The broth.
How many times you want to season your steak? Like 4 times now? Four Seasons is name of hotel, not recipe for pho.
And then
Funny thing, Four Seasons started as a motel in Canada. I think it was Toronto, if I'm not mistaken. And then they just expanded and became one of the world's most luxurious and nicest hotel chains. And they are in direct competition with the Ritz-Carlton. So this is why I know quite a bit about them, because I used to work for the Ritz.
so
Yeah.
this is like the heart of the pho.
Yes. How do you make that?
Okay, broth, part of pho. First thing she said that correct.
beef broth here, but you could use chicken, you could vegetarian. If
But then you don't show us how you make your broth. You just come here with the finished broth. But it's the most important thing. Show us. Oh, I know why she can't make the broth. Because she got no pot. See, the broth you just steal from Vietnamese restaurant down the street. You spend more time sizzling your steak than showing us how to make broth. Hiya, why like that?
Uncle Roger has a lot to say about this dish, doesn't he? Now, Uncle Roger's right about this. She should at least show the basics on how to make the broth and then have a finished broth ready just to cut the time down on the morning show. But she should at least show how to start it, what it should look like, and then give you the explanation on how long it should take.
And then I put in a teaspoon of sugar.
Sugar,
To
correct?
be honest, at home, most of the time, I actually use honey because we have
Honey?
We have our own honey at home.
No, don't use honey, you psycho.
So sometimes I put in mostly honey in there. And then I've got gorgeous fresh ginger to give it that lovely zest.
No, not like that. Ginger, correct. But first of all, you need to char it first. And you put ginger in pho broth as whole piece of ginger. You don't mince your ginger and put in there. Now people eating your pho, they're gonna eat mouthful of minced ginger. Hiya, who want that? You need to roast your ginger and roast your onion. If you forget to roast ginger and onion, Uncle Roger gonna roast you.
You know it's bad when we have to get the mouse whisperer.
This is Remy, and for the past year, I've been teaching him how to cook. I know, it sounds crazy.
But what if it's not?
I'm joking. Nick does do a good job normally. It's just that with some dishes, again, well, we reviewed Vincenzo and I a video with him, and Nick just did something just bizarre. So once in a while, I mean, everyone has their bad day, but normally Nick does do a good job.
And then star anise I also put in, which gives that
Star anise, correct?
British flavour, which I love. I love it so much. But if you didn't have that or you can't find it, don't worry. The ginger is important.
But you're just putting one? Who gonna taste it?
Star anise, I love, and I love to use it in a lot of stocks and stews that I use at home. Even making chicken stock, I throw a little bit in there. It's my own recipe. And if you guys haven't seen that video, you should check out my recipe. It's a good one. Super easy to make. When buying star anise, you need to be a little aware of what you're buying, because it's not just one type of star anise. There are other types, and the Japanese type is a little bit different than the Chinese type, is highly toxic. You need to make sure that it's from a reliable source.
Sugar is important. And I think everybody has a cinnamon stick. And you only need
Cinnamon good?
Let me turn over my steak.
Cinnamon is also another spice that I love, and I use it in a lot of things as well. But again, you need to know the different types of cinnamon, because not all types of cinnamon are the same. Some are sweeter than others, and others also have more toxins. Ceylon cinnamon is the best. This is the one that's very flaky. It's the bark that's very thin, and you can break it up very easily, and you can grind it as well. Cassia cinnamon, on the other hand, is the common one. It's the cheaper one as well, and it doesn't have the same sweetness.
And this is how you want it. You want it seared, you want it crispy.
Crispy?
Give it a little... You want it seared, you want it crispy.
No crispy steak. No? Where have you ever had pho with crispy beef in it? No need to have crunch in there. If your pho have crunch, then you need to be punched. That's what Uncle Roger say.
Uncle Roger, that's a really good saying. It rhymes. Nice one. Huh? Nice.
And then 1 minute on each side. That's medium rare. If you want it to be more well done, 2 to 3 minutes on each side, which still doesn't take away from your minutes. Okay, back to the spices. I also put in a few cloves in here.
Clove, okay.
And nampla, which is fish sauce.
Fish sauce good, but wait, that much for...
Powerful.
You're putting too much fish sauce.
Uncle Roger, no te quejas. Fish sauce is like liquid MSG. It's delicious. Add more. It's good. It's good for you. Add more.
Fish sauce without being in the dish is a horrible sauce.
It is actually, yeah. You know, I'm so used to
that.
smelling it.
What is that black liquid?
When it's in there.
No.
What the hell did you just pour? Tell people. You can't just pour mysterious black liquid on cooking show and don't tell what it is. What is she spiking her fur with? Are you trying to poison us? Do you work for KGB or something? Uncle Roger guessing that black liquid there is soy sauce, and that wrong again, hiya.
More specifically, it looks like she's adding aged soy. Now, what's the difference between aged soy? There are many different types of soy sauce, like a lot. Trust me, it's too many to mention right now. But to basically put it, aged soy, it's richer in flavor. It's a little darker as well in color, well, a lot darker, and it adds richness. So if you want to add richness in color, you can add a little bit of aged soy instead of just normal soy.
And then onto the noodles over here. So these are Vietnamese rice noodles. They're gorgeous.
Okay, noodle look correct.
You could use any noodles you want to.
No, you cannot use any noodle. You have to use specific pho noodle. The world have rules, woman. Not just anything go. Can we remove the word any from Asian cooking? Noodle is not pasta. You can't just change it out for another shape. They all make of different things for different dishes.
Jamie needs to hear this. If none of you have seen our review of Jamie Oliver making his soba ramen,
That's soba noodle. It completely different type of noodle. Hiya. Uncle Roger have to put my leg down from chair.
it's so weird, that video. You need to check that video out. It's such a strange recipe. He does some really weird stuff.
Pre-soaked these for
Pre-soak, correct?
on hot water. And then I'm going to pop them into the broth here.
Not into broth. Don't make noodle in pho broth. Your starch gonna dirty your broth.
Simmer rate, they'll soak up everything.
No.
I mean, I'm not, like when I'm at home.
Throwing a tantrum like a little kid. She just said, though, that she already rehydrated the noodles with hot water, and now she's putting the noodles back in.
Do genuinely cook every single night at home. I rarely go out to restaurants, actually. But anyway,
Niece Clotec, I think you need to go out to restaurant more. Stop cooking at home. If you bad at cooking, Stop cooking. You're not getting better. You're making same mistake at home over and over. Nobody tell you you fucked up. Go to restaurant, see how they cook, learn from them, then you go home and cook. Please, stop cooking. Go eat at restaurant before you go on TV.
Do you all need to know that?
Take the noodle out now. Take it out. When your noodle pre-soaked already, just cook it for 2 seconds, 3 seconds max. Don't cook so long, it's gonna get soggy. Hiya.
What Uncle Roger means by that is technically you can just put the noodles in the bowl with the broth and that's sufficient because the noodles are already rehydrated. Rice noodles in general do not take a long time to rehydrate or to cook, like very little compared to pasta. You need to treat them well because otherwise you end up with mush. And it's not nice dealing with mushy noodles.
You're going to bring me out to a restaurant. Give me a break.
Stop laughing.
For the weekend with my mom and
Oh, were you?
Stop chit-chatting.
What was I talking about?
You were
I
talking
know.
about
Stop.
like rice noodles.
Harry taking you out.
Save the noodle. Save the noodle.
Your mum.
Where's the lifeguard? Lifeguard, help the noodle. He's drowning.
What are we cooking?
You were talking about rice noodles absorbing the flavour of the stock?
To savour the stock. But when I'm at home, what I will just look over.
Take the noodle out. Uncle Roger know why it called immune boosting fursuit now. Because the food's so toxic for your body. Your body gonna fight it.
To be honest, what she's doing right now makes no sense whatsoever. Like, absolutely no sense. She doesn't need to be reheating the noodles. You can just put it in the bowl and that's sufficient.
Sometimes I'll have like egg noodles or I'll have vermicelli noodles or whatever noodles I have.
And it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. Just pop them in. And they all kind of take the same amount of time to cook. It's usually
Did she just say every noodle takes same time to cook? What universe this woman live on? So you think all this noodle, they all take same time to cook? This is the food version of Dumb and Dumber.
Different types of noodles, different types of pasta as well, take different times to cook. And if we're talking about Italian cuisine, angel hair does not take the same time as spaghetti.
Do you cook from a recipe at home or it's just all in your head?
never. I never
in your
cook
head.
it. I'm always doing a clear out. I like
Maybe you should start following recipe. Why are you so proud of yourself for fucking up?
Golly, who would have thought that? We can already tell that that is a true statement, yeah?
I find it really exciting taking everything out from the fridge and
going.
everything from the
Be-
store
let's
cupboard
be
going like, I've
creative.
got some tin tomatoes, I've got this.
So it's
and
like
this,
ready,
and-
steady, cook.
And then I let it rest just for a couple of minutes.
So in other words, it's kind of like mixing potions, isn't it? It's kind of like we're taking some cobwebs and we're taking some tears of a fairy and some cat's tail and everything else and we're putting it into the pot and we're making something out of it. Even in Kingdom Come 2, you have to follow a recipe to make the potions. Seriously.
Steak resting more than all our Vietnamese ancestors.
Canali resting. We were going straight for
What
it.
is that?
See, that
That's
is what
so
you want,
perfect.
right? Do you like your steak like that too?
Yeah.
No, not if it in fur.
Absolutely.
I don't like it like
I
that.
want to put steak in there.
Totally, yeah. And just change the broth to what you're actually going to do. So, for example,
No.
Why is she cutting the steak so thick? It should be cut paper thin. You don't cut large pieces of steak. What she could have done, even though that searing is a no-no, is to sear it in a very hot pan, but super quickly, just enough to get a little bit of a crust on each side, and then cut it paper thin, just to give it a little bit of a texture, and to finish it in the broth. That would have been something interesting.
so yummy. I use beef broth here.
What she just do? What did she just do? Did you see that?
So yummy. I use beef broth.
Is she smelling the noodle to check if the noodle done? This noodle, not fruit. Smelling won't tell you shit, hiya.
Don't do that, especially on a cooking show. That's not nice, is it? I mean, it's bad enough when some people have gas and then they give it a bit of a whiff. But this, before as well. We're trying to check the difference, no? When it goes in to when it comes out. Disgusting.
Let's have a smell, all right? Ooh, wafting, wafting. Oh, everyone likes their own brand, don't they? This is magic.
So I'm putting in my noodles, my thingy, and then I've sliced up my steak. I remember.
No.
Sorry for my fingers.
Put steak first, then pour broth.
Unbelievable.
You don't send the meat swimming.
Because that's yours.
And then I'm dressing it all up. So
The steak's dead and we're teaching it to swim.
sometimes you put the chili into the broth, but for this one, you
Chili, okay, I guess.
chili in it. You want it to be lovely and fresh.
There's mint in there, isn't
I've
there?
got mint.
The
I've
mint's
got Thai
amazing
basil,
with it.
and I've also got coriander.
Okay.
Fred, if you don't have all three, you could just use one of them.
Whatever you've got.
Whatever you have. If
Use whatever you like. What? Like soba noodles, and if you don't have fresh herbs, use some dried.
even flat leaf parsley and
What?
whatever you have, even flat leaf parsley and
Flat leaf parsley. Parsley? Oh my god. Did you just say parsley for pho? All Asian people hate you now. She British and she devastate entire group of people. I think she's the Margaret Thatcher of cooking.
I don't know how it is right now because I haven't lived in the UK for a while, but let's just say for the past, I don't know, about 10 centuries or more, mistaking an Irishman for an Englishman, or vice versa, is a massive insult. You don't do that. The Irish are not the same as the English, and the English are not the same as the Irish.
Putting whatever she feel like. How about you put mayonnaise and barbecue sauce in your pho also? Anything go, correct?
I mean, this is Monday. You want this on a
It's
Monday.
lovely.
I don't want this on any day.
It feels good on many, many levels.
Exactly. This will cool any anxiety. Pop the music on.
Yeah, it kill any anxiety, correct? Because it making Uncle Roger want to kill myself. If my life gone, anxiety also gone. Life hack. What the hell Uncle Roger just watched? Why this shit on British national TV? What is this show? PH? What the PH stand for? Pornhub? Because I think the people on there cook better than this shit.
Now, if we compare this pho on Rachel Ray's, it's a little hard to say on who did better. It really is. I mean, it's more like a coin toss. It could go either way. She did a few things that she shouldn't have done, and she skipped a few steps that she should have done. But in the end, it's not as bad as it could be. It could always be worse, trust me. If you haven't seen Cooking with Jack, or Kay, for that matter, it can be worse.
You don't want to pour too much, so don't put too much at the beginning. Just kind of pour a little. So delicioso.
In any case, guys, if you did enjoy this video and if you did learn a little something as well, I hope you did, then be sure to give the video a like and a share. But most importantly, be sure to hit that subscribe button so we can collab, hopefully one day, with Uncle Roger.